Growing up, I always had dirt bikes, and so when Gene was about 4 or 5 years old, we bought him a bike also. We spent, numerous nights together, and obviously motels and traveling and spending a lot of money and time together on his dream to be the best guy out there. And a friend of mine went riding with us, and he said, your kid's really talented. You ought to get him into racing. And we put him in the first race, and he ended up getting a trophy, and the rest was history. 15 years old, he was fastest guy in the state of Florida.
September 7th, 2016, getting ready for work. Gene's still sleeping. I'm getting ready to leave the house. Normally he would be up, but he's not up yet. Then I was almost out the door, and I thought, you know what, let me go get him up. So I went to the door, and no response, no nothing. And I open up the door, and he's like face down on the bed. So I knew, okay, there's something there. So I went to him, I rolled him over, no response, nothing. Called 911, they came, and then we're off to the hospital, get to the hospital. And then a nurse comes out, and she just basically says, we're gonna be airlifting him to Tampa General. He had a stroke.
So with a stroke, you don't know the end result until later. They have really no idea. They can't look at it and say, okay, he's not gonna be able to talk or whatever. He may talk, he may not talk. So it's a thing that progresses along to where they can tell what's gonna come out of it. It takes a long time. They had to take half of his skull off. I mean, there's things that have to go before we can even think of the future at that point. When we left the hospital, he could not walk. He understood very little, so you couldn't tell him to do something and it would happen. So once we got back into Sarasota, we took him to Health Fit, and a rehab physical therapist named Margarita was wonderful, and she said, I'm gonna make him walk, and she just worked him until he could walk.
Gene has been wanting to work for a really long time. And we just, I don't know, maybe we were just hesitant because of the speech, and the difficulty reading, writing, the speech. But then I learned about vocational rehab through, I think, our support group, stroke group. He needed a job coach just because of those barriers. And that's where wonderful Andrew came into play in employU.
Gene came to us wanting a job just like every other client. Gene had this specific story in mind that, hey, I used to do motocross and I want to be surrounded by people who have the same aspirations as you, right? He wanted to be surrounded by athletes. Jay and Jill have been just fabulous to work with. We've been to so many gyms in the past who just said no. They didn't believe that in this service, they didn't believe in Gene, but Jay, right when we walked in, he said, let's do it. We didn't really have to push too much, right?
Yeah.
It was 1, 2, 3, and we definitely fell in love with this place.
We are super passionate about working out and being in the gym atmosphere. And it was always been a dream of ours to start a gym, and our dream actually came true. Gene is unbelievable. Ever since the day I met him, always a smile on his face, always the same no matter what. Every single day he comes in here, and he's just a joy to be around.
I think it's all going to work out great with him here, but just for him to, yes, find a place that he could fit into, that he can work, he can make money, has the purpose of something to do, and just keep growing with it.
What makes Gene special is he doesn't care about having a disability, and he's going to prove to everyone that, look, yes, I have a disability, but I'm going to prove to everyone that I can do the job. And that's what our services are about, right? He's proved to everyone that he can be as independent as he wants and make so many people happy in this realm. I mean, even today when we were just waiting around, he was saying hello to people, he was helping people check in, and from start to finish, Gene's changed, and just for the better in the professional aspect. And you can tell that this is what he loves to do.